This is how I achieved my dream body working 50 plus hour weeks while spending less than 1 hour in the gym. On the left is my physique when I first started working out, and on the right here is me peak cut April of 2025. And the way I did this was by using macro manipulation and progressive overload. I didn't waste hours in the gym, I didn't waste hours cooking, I didn't have to deal with slow progress, and most importantly, I didn't get overwhelmed with a bunch of useless information. First things first, I want to go over my journey. So growing up, I played sports like soccer, and then eventually in high school, I was on the varsity swim team. And here's the thing, I was always the smallest and skinniest kid on the team, and it never let me feel confident in myself. I wasn't big enough to actually be good at the sports that I enjoyed. And a big problem with that was I was 100 pounds. I was shorter too. I was like 5'8", but I was always being made fun of, being pushed around. I couldn't gain any respect, and that just made me feel like absolute trash. And you can see here, this is what I looked like at 15 in 2018. As you can tell from the way I'm just kind of standing, smiling, I'm skinny, I'm insecure, I'm not really having that self respect, that confidence in myself. And ultimately, I wasn't proud of who I was when I looked in the mirror. I knew I had to make a change. So at 18, I started my fitness journey. And you can see very, very skinny. This was basically me doing a little bit of calisthenics at home. Like I did some push ups, kind of experimented. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. So I didn't know what foods to eat, I didn't know what workouts to do. I was relying on YouTube looking for the right information. But I was only getting more and more confused. But worst of all, I started college and I just ended up giving up completely on getting into the shape for the next 3 years. And in 2022, near the end of college, I tried again. But I still wasn't sure how to get in shape correctly. I didn't learn anything new. I hadn't been experimenting. I hadn't been trying anything. So I relied on YouTube videos again to seek guidance. And I put on a lot of weight in the worst way possible. You can see here, this is the exact opposite of what I used to look like, very skinny. Now, from just a few months, I went from 134 pounds to over 170 pounds. So that is not good weight gain. That was all fat. And I hated the way I looked like even more. I was partying all the time and not just going in the right direction of my life. Like I was doing things that I didn't want to do. This is not where I wanted to be. So I had no motivation to do anything. My energy was super low. I had no goals. I felt completely lost again and I was broke. I realized I need to take action. I need to make a change in my life by starting somewhere. And so I started off by getting a full-time job after my internship. So I was lucky enough to get this job. I worked hard in school. That was the one thing. I studied hard. I got good grades. And so once I went to my full-time job after my internship, I was one of the hardest workers there. I was doing 45 hours a week and plenty of overtime on top of that. And so after only just 2 years, I'd earned my way. I'd climbed the ladder up to test lead in charge of an entire team. And this made me realize that if I can work hard for a boss, I should be able to work hard for myself. If I can put in all this effort, put in all this time, all this energy, and be successful for someone else, why can't I do it for myself? And so at the end of the day, all I had to do was have good time management, diet correctly, train correctly, and just be consistent, stay disciplined, and keep showing up for myself day in and day out. I started going to the gym again, and I sped up my progress using macro manipulation and progressive overload. And that's how I lost a lot of that fat that I put on while replacing it with muscle. After using these methods, staying consistent, giving it my all, the momentum really started compounding. And this is me at the start of 2025. After 1 year of consistency, having that right guidance, figuring out how to work out, train correctly, eat correctly, and surrounding myself with like-minded individuals, I was able to achieve my dream physique. I mean, here I am absolutely peeled. I have ab veins, full six pack, all of that I was striving for, working so hard to get. I gained so much confidence and bettered my mindset so much that I started social media and my fitness coaching business. And this is now my lifestyle. I have the freedom to always do what I want when I want. I have always wanted that. This is me here in the Philippines, summer, exploring the falls. I'm in shape. I'm physically capable of doing new things, trying new things, exploring, having a good time. I learned so many lessons. I learned how to handle challenges, be more disciplined than ever, and also run my business. And most importantly, I gained so much confidence. I'm so confident now. I can freely take my shirt off anywhere I am, knowing that I worked hard to get to where I am, that I earned it, and that this physique that I built, that is something that nobody else can take away from me. And my fitness journey got me here. From a skinny kid who struggled with confidence to a man that has now conquered his mind, learned how to be disciplined, and he can handle any challenges that come his way in the future. I have an opportunity for you. The truth is, you don't need to know more information. If that was the case, you'd have already achieved your goal. What if you could learn how to get your dream physique, be held accountable, and be part of a like minded community? I promise that this would absolutely change your life. It completely changes and shifts everything in your life. This is for you if you want top tier confidence. Confidence that allows you to be proud of who you are, get rid of all your insecurities, and allow you to do anything you want in life. This is for you if you want relentless accountability, to learn discipline to not only achieve your fitness goals, but your personal and career goals as well. This is for you if you're tired of slow progress. Right? There's no more putting in the work just to see little to no progress. You're taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back all the time. Feels like you're going nowhere. This is for you if you're an action taker. Once you set a goal for yourself, you don't wait and get it done later. You go and put in action today and start making progress right away. This is for you if you're feeling lost. You need someone to guide you and give you direction to help you find that path towards your goals. And this is for you if you're open minded, open to advice from someone who is where you want to be and is able to teach you how to implement the steps to get to where you want to be. This isn't for people who are not patient. If you aren't willing to spend months developing your character and physique, then don't join this community. This isn't for people who are quitters. If you don't want to see results as fast as you thought, then you want to give up, it's not for you. This isn't for people who are not making this a priority. If this isn't a priority of yours, don't bother watching the rest of this video. It doesn't matter how much you know if you don't prioritize it and put in action. We want people that prioritize their fitness and want to improve their lives because we want to build each other up. We want to surround ourselves with a like minded community that has that drive to go and make this a priority and change their lives. And this isn't for people who have big egos. You need to be willing to take criticism from someone who is where you want to be and not from yourself who isn't where you want to be. Otherwise, you're not going to make any progress. You're not going to see any change because you're not listening. And if that ego is standing in your way, this isn't for you. Let me go over quickly why you're failing. Number one, most importantly, is accountability. All the other programs or methods you tried have not held you accountable. If you had a previous coach, they just gave you a plan and expected you to follow it without really making sure that you did it. The key to actually making progress, getting to your goals, is doing it. Having all the knowledge doesn't matter if you're not being held accountable to get it done. Number two is training. You're just not training correctly. Right? You don't know how many sets, reps, what exercises, how to hit the right muscle groups, how to program your workout split, how to be most efficient with your daily and weekly inputs. You need to train in a very specific way if you want to optimize your progress. And number three, diet. Your diet's flat out wrong. If you think you have the right diet, why don't you already have your dream physique? It's not keto, carnivore, vegan. None of those fad diets are the answer to your problems. You don't know how to track your calories. You don't know how to adjust your macros. You don't know how to avoid those plateaus. Diet is so often overlooked, and it's a lot easier than it really gets made out to be. The biggest lie is that you need a coach who's just going to give you a cookie cutter plan and send you on your way, right? Even if you have a decent meal and training plan, you'll still feel alone on the journey, and you'll have learned nothing at the end on how to conquer your mind. Being unsustainable will drive you completely crazy. You'll hit a wall in your progress because you are doing things that you can't continue to do. You can't stay consistent with it because it's not sustainable. And that's not how you shift your lifestyle. That's a quick fix. And quick fixes don't stay, they're just a band aid. You want to solve the underlying root cause. This is done for you. So you can work with someone who understands how to create a workout and meal plan that's tailored to a busy work schedule and has been where you are now. I can help you to navigate all the challenges that occur, that pop up, that derail you from a cookie cutter plan that assumes everything is perfect in life because life happens, things change. We want to be able to adapt and still enjoy and live our lives. And the key here is you want to take control of your life, and that's done by strategy. All you have to do is follow the structure of the program. I'll take care of all the calorie and training changes. The key is just following and being adaptable. Having the strategy, that's how you take back control of your life because now you don't feel like you're always trying to stick to something and failing. Instead, you're making adjustments and you're executing to achieve a plan. You're moving in the right direction. You're making progress towards a certain goal. You're not just following what someone told me to do. Here are the 6 fundamentals for you to build a shredded physique and a winning mindset. The most important thing is mindset mastery. You have to get rid of your limiting mindset that's been holding you back your entire life. If you don't adapt a mindset that allows you to succeed in any aspect of your life, why would you expect that mindset that's holding you back to let you succeed in your fitness. Mastering your mind is how you build the foundation you need to get started on your fitness journey. This isn't something that you can accomplish overnight. To achieve this, you have to be ready to rewire your mind, implement good habits, and be self aware. You have to be able to visualize your goals and turn them into reality. You have to be self aware, cutting out all those vices that are in your life. You have to be able to meditate, think clearly, have that laser sharp focus, and not be distracted by things. This is hard to do on your own. That's why I'll teach you the habits I use to break past my insecurities, my limiting beliefs, my mindset barriers, everything that I had to master and conquer to get to where I am now. Number two, optimal workout plans. This is important still. You can't be doing workouts that don't really target the muscle group that you need. You can't be doing workouts that don't let you recover or don't actually fully stimulate you if you want to maximize your progress. So that's why I'll be giving you the perfect workout plan that's tailored best to your schedule for your goals, that's as time efficient as possible so that you can have the perfect plan for your specific situation. Because it's different for everybody. Everyone has a different goal. What you want isn't what I want, and that's really important when you're training. More importantly, on top of all that, is enjoying the process. Right? If I give you a workout plan that you hate, or if you set a workout plan for yourself that you hate, you're eventually going to quit. You're not going to stick with it. Giving you a workout plan that makes sure you feel great after achieving a hard workout, walking out of that gym with a pump that will boost your confidence through the roof, just actually enjoying the process, wanting to go to the gym, that is absolutely key. That's how you make sure you stay consistent. That's how you keep going and actually enjoy the process of getting to where you want to be. Number three, customized diet and meal plans. So, as I was saying with your training, you can't just eat whatever. It does matter what you eat. The thing is, these aren't cookie cutter meal plans that everybody sees online that, oh, just eat this amount of food and you'll be perfect. This is a custom tailored meal plan for you and your goals. It has to be adaptive too. You need an exact meal plan that's catered to your body, your goals, your needs, and your life. A meal plan that works for one person will not work the same way for you. So why would we give you that? We want to give you an exact diet that's tailored for you. And this is really how macro manipulation comes into play. You get to enjoy your favorite foods. You don't have to stop eating things that you enjoy. You don't have to be sticking to some absurd diet that limits certain foods, cut things out, and makes you eat at certain times of the day. Of course, you can't eat junk food all the time, but there is a way to enjoy hamburgers, fries, ice cream, cookies, whatever it is that you really like, while still losing weight and building muscle. It's not about cutting out carbs. It's not about no processed sugar. It's about a macro manipulation plan that's for your exact body and your goals. Number four, a like-minded community. This is really huge. The biggest mistake I see is that people think the whole journey of self-improvement has to be lonely. In reality, there are thousands of others with the same mindset and goals as you. So why would you not want to connect with others that have those same goals and ambitions as you? The goal in our fitness coaching program is to offer a space for all of the guys to share our journeys together while pushing one another and holding each other accountable. You know, having my friends when I go to the gym, having those guys that constantly push me, we push each other, it's huge. This program is here to push your boundaries to help you achieve your personal and fitness goals. As steel sharpens steel, so one man sharpens another. Number five is relentless accountability. If you're not seeing progression in your life, that means there's a lack of accountability. When I tried to do everything by myself, it felt super overwhelming. I felt completely alone, and I always ended up giving up. There's only one solution to this. You need to make friends who have the same goal as you. Friends that won't let you slack off because you don't feel like it. Friends that aren't pushing you in the wrong direction. You know, back in the day when I was always hanging out with certain kinds of guys, they want to go partying, they want to go drinking, they want to, hang out, talk to girls, do drugs, whatever it is. That is taking me away from my fitness. I want to go work out. I want to go to the gym. They're going, oh, that's you can skip today. It won't matter. That's not what you want to surround yourself with. You become the sum of your five closest friends. That's exactly what happens. And so, what's the best way to fix that? The best way to achieve your goals is to not be surrounded by negative influences taking you away from it. If you have the right community, they'll support you on the path even if you fall off. And that's what made the difference for me. I didn't have that community for the longest time in my journey of building my physique. I found that after I built my physique. But if I had people checking up on me, making sure I was keeping up with my workouts, my diet, my cardio, my habits, It would be the most important part of achieving my physique and getting rid of all my insecurities. And that's why in our program, we host weekly group calls, one on one calls on top of that to make sure the journey is going as smooth as possible and to make sure you know you're not alone. This isn't your average video program, it's a brotherhood that works together to change your life. Number six, last but not least, premium access to me. You'll have one-on-one direct access by joining my program. You can ask me any questions, request more informative content, and anything else that you might need to achieve your goals. And number two, enhanced support. There's personalized support and mentorship. Everything is custom made for you. It's made for your goals, your body, your lifestyle. I'll be here to make sure you receive the guidance and motivation you need to achieve your goals. So to summarize the 6-step process for your transformation, most importantly, you have to master your mind. Number one is mindset mastery. Once you have mindset mastery, you can implement optimal workout plans and quick and easy meal plans. That is a knowledge thing. But if you don't have your mind mastered, you won't be implementing those. But most importantly, is the like-minded community and relentless accountability. Even if you have your mind mastered, even if you have optimal plans, if you're not actually executing and doing it on a day-to-day basis, you're not going to make any progress. You're not going to move any closer to where you want to be. And that's where the community comes in. That's where accountability comes in. And that's where direct access to me comes in. I'll make sure all those speed bumps, all those challenges that pop up, they don't actually affect your progress. If anything, we'll push through them together. So if you're ready to build a shredded physique alongside your full-time job, you don't have to spend hours in the gym. You won't have to spend hours cooking meals. Book in a call with me, and I'll see if you're a good fit for the program. See you soon.